The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of The Bostonian versus The Book. Dave Sharapan, The Book, Matt Perrault, The Bostonian, live YouTube, Twitter at Boston versus The Book, Sirius XM channel 159 replay with Sports Grid TV as well. Dave, it's kind of cold in Vegas, but what's going on? It's not that cold. You look
freezing over here in this house.
You should be in like Maine. Like this is like my sister type outfit for September the 20th.
Yeah, I found this headband. I'm going to keep it on because it's our show. We can wear what we want.
True.
And I'm wearing it. I like that. It's cold in so many different ways, not just the temperature over here in the ocean of estrogen. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on the hoodie, and I might even put it up while we're doing the show. In case they're watching, which they're probably not, but we are here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button while you are. I might see them today. I might not. Okay. I'm hoping that somebody reaches out to the boss, lets her know she can come on the show today. Maybe it'd be a good segment. I'd like to talk to her. I got something to say to her. In the meantime, me and you will talk. I learned about the furries yesterday. I can't wait to see what I'm going to learn about today. That was a hell of a super chat. Good job, Dave's Daily Picks. That was nice. Nice work.
So if you guys did not see yesterday's bonus time, you should definitely go and find it on our YouTube channel at Boston versus The Book. You very well might learn something. It is not safe for work and not safe for kids. It's definitely an R-rated portion of the program, but on TV and radio, we tend to keep it somewhat on the cleaner side. We're not a clean show, but we'll keep it on the cleaner side. But if you guys do have a question, if you want to get Dave to do the Anchorman thing and have a conversation about any topic you want, the super chats are open and available for after the show is over. So, or after the TV and radio portion of the show is over, not the whole show. So that's always the bonus time feature. If you haven't seen it before, BVB bonus time does not air on TV, does not air on Sirius XM. It does air on the Boston versus The Book YouTube channel. So save it for about an hour and 30 minutes or so from now. And we'll have you guys.
You can drop it in now.
You can
do it after the show.
No, it's going to be a little while. Right. Yeah. You can drop it in whenever you want. And it's all
goes in his file that Perrault keeps. And
we're good.
We'll get to it after.
To our BVB Brigade member friend, Emerson Latzia, DraftKings own. It is National String Cheese Day, which I had no idea was a thing, but of course the brigade figured it out. I think it was Addison who figured it out.
Yes.
Is there a day for everything? String cheese day, like somebody thought that would be a good idea. Where's
the day for the dads who live in the ocean of estrogen?
It's called Father's Day.
That's for every father. There got to be a place for the fathers that have all estrogen in their lives. You, me, all the girl dads. There got to be a place for us. But no, there isn't. Is there a furry day?
Oh, a National Furry Day. I'm going to say no. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's in the works.
There's furry conventions. I learned about that.
8,000 strong in Pittsburgh. The furry business is booming in Pittsburgh.
It's in the Midwest, too. There's an Indianapolis one. There was a bunch of people. I had no idea. Again, go back and watch that. That was unbelievable. String cheese, National String Cheese Day. How do you celebrate this? We should have tried to reach out to Emerson and get him on the show, because this is his glory, right? This is, thank goodness for him being on the show, talking about the string cheese, and Addison and the crew finding it, putting it all together. Is this something to be excited about, Perrault?
No, it is not, but it is something for Emerson to be excited about because the Jaguars they didn't do much against the Chiefs. So a little bit of a reality check weekend for Jaguar fans in terms of where they are.
Did you see the story that the Jacksonville Jaguar fans would vote like they ain't going to give no money to update the stadium, and they're going to it sounds like they're going to leave, like they're going to go to London. Nobody cares.
Wow, I did not hear that at all.
Oh yeah, there was a poll run, and again, you know how I feel about
not
the polls.
Official though. This is just a poll that said that.
Well, no, they put it out in the newspaper.
Yeah, but they're supposed to go for the next 2 years. They're going to play in Daytona while they renovate the stadium. That's the whole point.
I don't know if they're going to do the renovations now.
Wow.
They put it in the paper. There's a story today. I can't remember if it was Front Office Sports or not, but I saw it this morning while I was scrolling to try to find a play for the Pirate game today. Woo! Pirates smoked. We'll get to that later. 6% of the people would vote to improve the stadium in Jacksonville. 6. They're going to just let them go.
So wait, was it A or B, or were there more than one options to select?
It said, would you vote to improve the stadium in Jacksonville to keep the team here? 6%.
94% said no.
That's it.
Wow.
How about that?
Well, they want to do the thing I read over the summer about what is the plan for the NFL. They want to have a whole division over there still. That's their plan, is to have 4 teams over there. So if they moved Jacksonville over, there'd be 3 expansion teams that would come into the league.
Oh.
So it would be, they want a full 4-team division over there where they can, when they come over and they stay. You know, they play in New York, they play in LA, they go back.
Does that work?
It could. It's going to make it it's going to be hard. I mean, but if your road game is 2 home games, 2 road games, 2 home games, 2 road games, you could figure it out. So it's not that bad. And if your road game is 1 game in Europe, 1 game on the East Coast, again, the flight from London to New York is the same flight from London to California.
Yeah, you did say that.
So you can schedule it. You can play around with it to make it so the travel is not brutal. But Seattle always leads the league in miles traveled because of how far up they are.
Up.
And they got to come down. The closest team is still a 2-hour plane ride to get down. So traveling today, that pushback doesn't really have the same
doesn't
strength.
Hold water the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same type of pushback. The travel is going to be brutal. Yeah, not really. You can do it so the travel is not horrible. It's more or less the tax implications and media traveling over there. Will media travel international? What does that do to the companies that have beat reporters? And it just changes the way the game is going to be covered.
The chat is such. The audience drives the show. I was trading some DMs with one of our loyal listeners, watchers, whatever, and we discussed that. Sonic just chimed in. Furry Day is October 8th. He looked it up, so it's official. October 8th is Furry Day.
Will you wear a furry outfit on October the 8th on the show?
Dress up like a furry animal?
Like a furry, where you wear a full furry costume on the show on October the 8th. Would you do it?
Day of the week is that?
I don't know. October the 8th? What does it matter?
Well, no, because if it's a Tuesday, it might not fit into the schedule. But October 8th
is a Sunday.
So we'd have to do it Monday the 9th or Friday the 7th. 6th.
Yeah.
Friday the 6th. Well, we're going to have to discuss that. I got to just, if I could say hello to my wife at some point, maybe I'll ask her. I didn't get to ask her about the furries. I wanted to ask her if she knew what that was. She didn't know. Let's see here. Oh no. The University of North Florida ran a poll. Jail relocation is more popular than the stadium reservation for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jail relocation or renovation? Is that jail? That word
relocation.
Jail. Oh, well, I get that. I'd want a jail out of my community too, if I could figure out a way to get it out. So I get that would be more popular. Sure. Where to put the money? Sure. Public money. Look, it was funny. There's a guy named Vegas Pauly C. who has like 200,000 followers on Instagram here in town.
Doing
All he does is walk around and take videos of Vegas. That's all he does.
Yeah.
He was outside the Bellagio and he videotaped what right now the front of the Bellagio looks like. Would you say that the Bellagio fountains are the most photographed thing in Las Vegas? Like taking pictures in front of the Bellagio fountain?
It's one of two, probably. Yes.
It's a pretty big deal. Okay.
It's a very big deal. He
made the point where
one or two.
He said it's the number one photographed spot in Las Vegas. And he made the case that it may be one of the top 10 most photographed places in the world in terms of people who come and take pictures. It's the one thing everybody wants on their trip to Vegas.
This is 100. I can verify that everybody that comes here that I know wants to go see that or take a picture in front of it. I've done it probably 10 times myself with people in the past 6 months. 100% he's right about that.
If you haven't seen what's in front right now of the Bellagio fountains, they've ripped up every tree that was there. These were imported when they built the thing 30 years ago, whatever it was. They ripped up all the concrete, which was hand carved in some places, very special carpet. They ripped it all up. And now until
the front on Las Vegas Boulevard, all that's gone.
All that's gone.
Oh,
you cannot walk right now in front of the Bellagio fountains, and you won't be able to do so again until they complete the grandstands, which are scheduled to be done in November.
Are they going to leave the grandstands there, or
yes.
are they going to take them down and then?
No, they're there for 10 years. They're there.
Up?
Nope, they're there as a permanent part of the Las Vegas Strip.
I don't get it.
There's no other way. And even Vegas Policy, who has been one of the most pro F1 events here in Vegas, he saw that and he went, why would you do that? Why would you do that? What would be the point? How much money do you have to get paid to ruin something that is an iconic thing for Las Vegas? And he goes, tell me in the comment section, is this worth it? Because I'm starting to be concerned that I'm not thinking this is worth it anymore.
How are you going to walk on the Strip? You know how many people, thousands people per day walk on there? Are you going to go up
and
the
over
grandstand and then down the grandstand?
No,
you have to walk up to the Bellagio.
You'll be able to walk
around.
Once the grandstands are up, you'll be able to walk underneath them. You'll be able to walk. That pathway will be open after the race is over, but the grandstands will still be there. You won't have the same shot from the road to see the fountains. That's now going to be blocked. If you were looking, remember how Paris, like I've stayed in suites at Paris where they give you the shot of the Bellagio fountains.
Oh, that's a nice look.
Yep. Gone. Blocked. Can't do that anymore. So that's gone.
My God.
But you will be able to walk underneath it. But right now, as they're constructing the grandstands, there is nowhere to walk. You have to walk up and around if you're walking on the Strip. But you're changing the look of Las Vegas in a dramatic way for an event.
The only place they're going to do that, right? They got to put grandstands all along there.
Correct. But that's only every other place, I guess, where they're putting grandstands. It's not going to block any view. The Bellagio.
I heard they shut the volcano down.
Yes, Mirage. But that was always going away anyway, though, because they're building the Hard Rock in 2 years. When you guys come to Vegas, if you've ever seen Miami's Hard Rock with the big guitar as one of the towers, that's going to get built on the site of the Mirage volcano. That's going away.
No, this can't be. Daniel G.
What
just came in our chat and said, literally plan to propose to my girl at Bellagio next week. What the F am I supposed to do now? I can't have that centralized shot now. Shaking my head. Thanks, Vegas. I had this plan for 3 months.
Okay, hold on.
Daniel G, you'll just have to go up the path and shoot it from the back.
So there is still a way of doing that. You just have to go onto the Bellagio property. You have to go up,
walk up,
around. Yeah. And you'll be so public because if you're going to do it in front of the fountains, that's a public place and people would see you propose. On the other side, if you go up by the valet where you're looking down, you can still take a shot and still do it by the fountains. And
that's a good shot. And then,
so you can do that too.
You know that escalator in between the Bellagio and the Cosmo, if you go up that escalator and walk like 2 or 3 little portals poles, you could get a tremendous shot of the Strip and the city with the lake in the background.
You can still do it. It's just you may want to scout it out like the night before or something.
We'll help you, Daniel G.
Yeah.
You can still do the shot.
Yeah.
I'm worried if you still want to give it a ring. Just be careful what you're doing with this. Make sure this is the one, Daniel G. Just be sure.
You can't play dad now. You can't do that.
I'm just saying. 19 years I'm in.
Yeah. You know how I feel.
I know how you feel. That's what, Daniel G. Be sure. Just be sure.
Be sure. Just be sure about that legal document. just be sure. Rings are great. Ceremonies are phenomenal.
Woo!
That legal document is fucking bullshit.
Man.
The legal document's the problem. Like marriage is great. Ceremonies are great. Rings are great. That piece of paper is a problem. That thing is a problem. Not a fan of that thing by any means. Okay, before we get to what happened last night, let's do some day baseball here. We've got 3 games underway at the moment. No, we have multiple now, more than that. Red Sox top of the first, 2 on and 2 outs for the Rangers against the Red Sox. That's just an ugly, ugly series for Boston. 4-2 already. Oh, it's a game's in the 7th inning. 4-2 Phillies. That game looking like it's going to be an under. Game top of the 7th, nobody on, 2 outs for Philadelphia. It's 2-1 Reds in a game that the Reds really, really need here up against the Twins. Twins pretty much are in. They know it with the division. That is a 37-40 home record, Cincinnati. Unbelievable. Top 7 we go. 1 on, no outs. Or sorry, 1 on, no on, 1 out.
Nobody on.
2-1. Sorry.
1 out.
Nationals are up 8-1 on the White Sox. Bases loaded. Top 4 though for Chicago. 2 on in a game no one cares about. And the Orioles and the Astros, we are in the top of the first inning, 1 on, already a runner on second base for the Baltimore Orioles, who really have hammered Houston pitching. Okay, question for you.
Yes.
5 games, 5 overs. I bet the over for the Astros and the Orioles today.
Right.
Do you think if the Orioles see the Astros in the postseason, which could be the ALCS, and they know they've scored 8, 9, and then whatever they score here today, does that give a young team confidence going into the playoffs? Because this Orioles team, they've not been in the playoffs since 2016 as a franchise, and really nobody on that roster has any real experience in the playoffs to talk about.
Correct. Yes. They have confidence now.
Okay.
They don't even, you can tell. I watched MLB Central this morning, and they had the kid on from Campbell University who plays the outfield. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the clubhouse is loose. Like they're
Today
playing.
it's loose. Of course, it's a whole different story in the playoffs.
I understand, but like for a lot of these guys, they're getting they're not getting the reps. They're getting the thing that makes the playoffs just a little bit more.
Are they?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if
I'm telling you, I don't know if the pitching will hold up, but I'm not worried about the Orioles offense.
Well, look, we can't hold on. Now let's talk about this because you and I have discussed this already. I made the point that these playoffs might look a lot different with the current rule changes than in years past. And you went, yeah, until I see it, I'm not going to buy it because it's 2-1, 3-2 baseball games everywhere. Are you backing off on that? Because the Orioles have 3 starting pitchers. The best ERA they've got is 3.12. The other guy's got a 4. Other guy's got a 5.
Yep.
They don't have, Bradish and they don't have starting pitching to talk about. Their best reliever is Felix Bautista, who's coming back off of the sprained UCL. He threw 20 pitches over a couple days ago. And he's
coming back.
He might be coming back. They're trying to get him ready. They're cautiously optimistic he could be in the mix for the back end for the playoffs. Now they don't know that they don't want to promise anything because as we've seen with these injuries, like one weird throw and all of a sudden it's he's done. But he could be eligible. Their bullpen is a bunch of no-name guys you never heard of and no one's afraid of. But their offense is phenomenal. But they've got a rookie playing third base who's been incredible. You've got Rushman, a catcher who has never been in the playoffs.
Yep.
Never had a major moment like this in his career. I don't know. I still think that the Oriole games might wind up being 3-2 baseball games, and that scares me.
I think they're equipped to win either way. I really do.
You do?
I do. I think they're equipped to win. They're equipped to win.
You trust their starting pitching? Really?
No, not yet. But they may not need to go all of that. They may need to just get them 5. They got one of the best bullpens in baseball. I don't know who any of those guys are. If they get this,
it's been
closer
okay
back,
since August 25th. It's been okay. I did a ton of this on this morning with the Orioles. It's been okay. They have an ERA nearly 4. Their WHIP is not great. All their bullpen stats since August 25th are pretty much middle of the pack. I'm very look. You look at they're going to play the winner of the 3-6 matchup, which most likely is going to be the Rangers and the Twins. So they have been extremely good against the Central.
if they
extremely
get the 1. They have to get the 1.
They're up by 2.5 games with 11 to play against, and their schedule is much easier. The Rays end on the road. They end at home. So
they should get the 1 seed.
They should get the 1 seed. I'm very confident the Orioles are getting the 1 seed. I'm pretty confident of that. So that means they've got the bye, and they're going to be the 1 or the 2. I mean, I guess if they're not winning the division, they can't get a bye.
No, they're crazy. They're the 1 or the 4.
4, right? It's not.
It's a gigantic difference.
It really is. It's true. So they'll play Rangers or the Twins. Most likely they'll play the Rangers. They win 2 games there. They're in the ALCS where they're going to play. The benefit for them being the 1 seed is that the Rays and the Astros are going to play each other. The other 2 teams that are competing with the Orioles are going to face off. Only one can get there.
Wouldn't the Astros get the 2?
Yeah, then the Rays get the 3. The Rays will play in the first series. They'll win.
Right.
The Rays will play the Astros.
Right.
So the Rays and the Astros are playing each other. Only one can advance. So the other, there's 3 legit.
No. If the Orioles get the 1 seed, remember, the 4 or 5 play each other to play the Orioles.
Not according to the bracket we put up yesterday.
Yeah.
What?
3-6. Remember, the 3-6 played a 2.
Right. So hold on. Wait, look.
Yeah. So the Rays would be the 4. Look.
Right. So then my point is, okay, it's 2-3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
The Rays would play the Orioles.
Okay. So they are going to play that out. Okay.
Yeah. And the other team, ironically, is another American League East team, the
Jays. So they're better off being the 2 seed. It's better to be the 2 seed than the 1 seed for the
Damn
Orioles.
right it is. You said the quiet part out loud.
Wow. It's better to be but they can't be the 2 seed because the Twins can't catch them.
The Astros can't catch them.
Or either or. They both can't catch them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's stunning.
Yeah.
I would have lost these games. That's funny. Yeah, because they have 95 and the Astros have 84.
It's no way. Deal.
No
the
way.
Winner of the American League East is the 1 seed.
The 1 seed. Oh, that's interesting. So they're gonna have to take on. So that's why they're plus.
That math is hard.
They're plus 300 to win. They're plus 300 to win.
Whereas the Astros are the favorite.
Which they should be, because you see now why they should be the favorite. Huh.
Because of the path. So
wow, that's interesting. I don't trust the Orioles. I think the Orioles have a really good chance of being in the American League Championship Series, but now I feel differently about it because they could get beaten by the Rays. Now Rays Astros, I think, has a far more likely shot
of being the ALCS.
Yeah. I think you have to learn. I love this Orioles team, but I did a deep dive on them today, just looking at their numbers, and I was like, man, there's no veteran presence. There's no one who's been there. There's no one who's done it. There's nobody with a ring. They're just so young. I think they're going to get to the playoffs, and I think they're going to grip the bat too tight. And I'm just really concerned about their offense come the playoffs.
I don't know.
I love them. I would love to see them in the World Series. I would love to see them play. If they can keep playing this loose, if they can have this type of feel, I'm in love with it. I just don't know if they can play this loose in the playoffs.
I don't know.
1-0 already, Baltimore. Let's look at that. Orioles continue just to hammer
Houston
pitching.
They just hit. Boston's up 3-0 over Texas.
Yeah.
Kansas City just did something. Jeez.
Kansas City up 3-0 on the Orioles. Wow, on the Guardians.
Yeah,
that's a bummer too. Cleveland was going to hang around, and then Cleveland just fell off.
Yeah,
8 games back of the Twins now. They're just they're dead.
Who's going to get the 1 seed? Put it in the chat right now.
Orioles are getting the 1 seed.
A lot of people watching.
Orioles are the 1. The question is, what do you do with with Toronto and Texas and Seattle? So those are your 3 teams right now for 2 spots. One of those teams will not make the playoffs. The Rangers are 83-68. The Mariners are 83-68. Blue Jays are 84-67. 1 game up, but they've played fewer games. So I mean, it's still unbelievable to look at the American League, and the Rangers have a plus 151 run differential. Jays have a 66 run differential plus, and the Mariners plus 102 run differential. And the National League, it's just ridiculous. The Reds are minus 45, Marlins minus 37, Diamondbacks minus 22. The Cubs are plus 99, but it's unbelievable that we're sitting here with, we've got the Phillies. I think the Phillies are in. Would you say that Phillies are making the playoffs?
I've been saying that for 2 months. I definitely think so.
Diamondbacks, Cubs, Marlins, Reds, Giants, all separated by 3 games.
Cubs are playing the Pirates. They're only 10-1 against them.
It's unbelievable.
Want to shout out Butchie. He's watching the shows down south. I wanted to say hello to him. He's all over the Orioles. His place needs against the Orioles, actually. So he's rooting for some other teams there. Just sent me that text.
Because everyone, I mean, they're the good story. They're a great story. They're a fun team to watch. They're young. I mean, your catcher was in the home run derby, switch hitting it. I mean, people were like, who the hell is that kid?
Right.
He burst onto the scene. They've been a very profitable team for a lot of people to bet on. And they've been one of those baseball betting dreams. You bet the over on them a lot. You can bet them on the run line a lot. They've done well in both.
Yep.
It's just that playoff baseball for inexperienced teams, just seen it too often. The Rays aren't battle tested, but they're more battle tested than the Orioles are. And I like their bullpen better too.
Yeah. I mean, again, their bullpen is the best in baseball over the past, I believe it's 3 months, something like that.
Them not dying after the Wander Franco thing is somewhat of a stunner to me. I thought they were toast.
Great manager, great organization, good players just show up and play. I don't know. Jay Dow's going to go selfishly. He said he's going to the game.
Good.
He's going to the Orioles games. We might have to go find Jay Dow.
The playoff games? He should go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Why not? 9-1 Washington about Chicago, by the way. Whew. Nationals hitting. Reds are up 3-1 now.
Here we go.
So here the
Cincinnati.
Reds, bottom 7, nobody out, still 1 on, but 3-1 for the Reds, who really do need it right now. The Reds are a game behind in the loss column to the Marlins and 2 games behind the loss column to the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, who both play later today. So
ironically, who's going to decide the NL wild card, as ridiculous as it sounds?
Who?
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really? They play everybody?
Listen to this. I put this in a thing today when we were texting this morning, and I forgot to send it to you. So
okay,
I'll read it to you now. Let me find it. It is their final 4 opponents are all contenders. They visit the Cubs, the Reds, and the Phillies, and then host the Marlins.
The Philly series may not be necessary, but the other 3 are very much part of it. Yeah,
ridiculous.
100% part of it. Yeah, that's great. Well, that's what you want, though. I mean, if your team's not in it, at least your team can be a part of it in some form or fashion.
That's fine.
Play spoiler. That's fun.
It is. Well, they already got 70 wins. I mean, this would be exciting. They're going to get close to 80. They're not going to finish 500, but
how about the Red Sox team total right now for their win total?
Is sitting what?
I believe it was 79. They closed at
79. It was just under 500. So it was 80, I think, or 79 and a half.
79 and a half, I think is what the number closed at.
Right?
People were betting the under. I think it opened at 81 and then it closed at 79 and a half is what I believe.
So what's
Red Sox? They have 75. 75 and 77 at the start of play today.
Good number. It's going to fall within 1 or 2. See, now that you sit there for 6 months and sweat it, comes down to the last week, and you can bet the opposite. You can't lose. If you have under and they're sitting 1 win away,
yeah,
you just bet on them.
Why don't people understand this? This is like driving me crazy.
What?
Because ever since I did this Milwaukee Brewers bet, like people are just it's twisted them up into a pretzel. Like they cannot. Every morning since I've done this on the Daily Juice, I've had somebody in here on our show yesterday or 2 days ago. Somebody can't figure out what the purpose is of this. Like people don't understand the idea of putting yourself into a market that you can bet against it. Like they think a bet's got to be a bet. Like a bet is what you think. And it's not it's not what we're talking about. We're talking about taking a position to work off that position. I know this is like a little bit of a step up from a gambling perspective. It's not just who wins. It's okay. Now I'm going into a market because I got this morning. Someone's like, the Cubs aren't going to be the team that the Brewers are going to play, right? I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me whether they play the Cubs or anyone else. It's the same principle. It's the same bet. They're going to be favored against whomever because they're home. They're the 3 seed. They're at home. It's the same wager. They're going to be favored. The team they play is the dog. You can bet the dog. You can get plus money. The opponent will dictate how big of a plus you get. But it's just working off the number. And
I don't think there's a team that could be the 6 that would be favored over the Brewers.
But
whether it's the Cubs, the Reds, the Giants, or the Marlins, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They can't figure that out. They can't figure that out. And then they can't figure out the fact that this is not me saying like the Brewers suck. How can you say the Brewers are going to win the World Series? Not saying that. That's not what I am saying by that bet. I'm not saying Milwaukee wins the whole thing. I'm saying, what if you're wrong and they do? Let's work off of it. And even if they don't and they get beat, we'll make a profit.
Right.
It's the same thing with the season win total bet. It's like, you bet you have the Red Sox 79.5. Okay. So the Red Sox schedule for the remaining part of the year, they play Texas today. They're winning already 4-0.
Right.
They play Chicago on the road. At home, Chicago, Tampa, and then the end against the Orioles with 4 games at home. Those are all opportunity. If the Red Sox get to 78 wins, you can start betting against them and start making money.
Dear Lord, this is like this is almost as good as the long teaser explanation.
No, it's just frustrating, I think, because people don't listen.
They don't listen, period. It doesn't matter.
They listen with their mouths and their brains are moving as they're listening. And it's like there's too much noise going on in their heads. So it's kind of like trying to watch a show when someone's talking to you. Like you can't pay attention to both, right? You can't have both. So like you're thinking about your own bets as I'm telling you what the bet is, and you're missing key components of things we're talking about. It drives people nuts and me nuts because you aren't listening to what we're saying.
This is like being a parent when you're talking to the kids and they're not listening. The kids that they listen, they hear what they want to hear.
Pretty much.
I told you this for years. At the counter, you could tell someone the winner. Say, I have the winner. You got to bet under. And they're like, why don't I bet unders? I don't want to bet under. The final score, they sent it to me. Not that this happens. It doesn't happen. The games aren't fixed. They're rigged. Relax. But I know the final score was 17-14. The total's 42. Give me 11 times. I'll give you 21,000 in 3 hours. It's done. I already know. It's not even going to be a sweat. I don't like unders. I don't want to bet unders. Okay. Do what you want.
Do what you want. Right. Then why'd you ask? Why'd you ask?
Well,
do your own
they
thing.
Ask because they want to know, but then they don't listen. And you give them the answer and they don't want to know. So don't even worry about it. I mean, you just tell them this is what we did. This is how we do it. You want to listen? Thank you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell one other person about it. We're up almost 1,500 subscribers. Somebody's paying attention to the show. We're getting thousands of views and stuff every day. We appreciate all of that as well. People retweeting it and talking about it in the Discord. What's the Discord again?
bvbshow.com.
It's growing every day. There's people in there posting pictures and stuff and furry convention things, ideas. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Day 9 of the MGM cyber attack. This morning, MGM issued a statement saying everything was back to normal, and everyone then posted their pictures of every problem MGM is having, and they're having serious problems still. Monday night at the Rio, things may have bubbled over because it was 11:45 on Monday night to check in at the Rio, and it was a 3.5 hour, 50-person line to check in at 11
at midnight.
At midnight on Monday night at the Rio.
I haven't been down there yet. We got one of our guys, Z's here in town. I'm going to go. We're going to have to go see Z at some point, but I don't know. Like, I'm not in no hurry to go down there, and people are, either switching places to stay. I have no idea. I see what people send. I feel for the employees, man, every single day.
It looks like the bigger properties, like the MGM Grands and the Bellagio, it looks like they've pretty much streamlined check-in. So it looks like that's moving relatively quickly now. The problem are the payouts, the ATM machines, the things you need automation for, not available. Your reward points, not available. And there may be other properties around getting hit because there's been some software glitches, some massive outages, like the Venetian, all their machines went down for a couple of hours. Like there's a lot of like things going on the strip right now it's very weird. And what everyone is saying is, was that just a test run for what will happen F1 weekend?
Oh,
like, are they targeting F1 weekend to that's when they're going to really go? Like this was a test run, be like, hey, by the way, yeah, it was $30 million this time. But now it's F1 weekend, so now give us $100 million, or we're gonna do it again.
Even saying this out loud,
I'm not the one saying
terrible.
They're saying it out loud.
That would be so bad.
I'm not saying it. Everyone is. I mean, this is just what the speculation is right now across that. What if this was just a show you event?
Oh,
like we can do it whenever we want.
Oh,
if you got the F1 coming in, you got all these people coming in. We'll do it to you during F1 weekend.
Oh, that's bad. That's
for everyone, for us, for Vegas, for the people coming here. It's bad for everyone.
Well, in a weird way, do you think somebody's saying this might be a way to get it to be one and done?
There's no way it's one and done. They've spent millions upon millions upon millions.
And they're going to lose millions upon millions if they mess this up like that.
Yeah, I think
they're going to go. You know what?
We're done. Probably. I mean, my gut tells me MGM and Caesars and everybody else, they will soon have a different way of doing everything. Like I think that this will change operating in Las Vegas forever. I think the automation, it could go back to the way that it was. We could really come offline.
I would like a lot of things to go back to the way they were.
Yeah, it could come offline. I mean, you could see a lot more old school Vegas in the wake of this. As we're not going to do everything automated. You're not going to check in on kiosks. You're going to see a person. You're going to see a human being. They're going to hand you a card. We're going to have a bank of people. I mean, this is the problem that for these properties, even like with books, these new books are being built. Like the book at the Venetian, there's 4 windows at the Yahoo Sportsbook. 4 windows. Like if you get on a football Sunday, you're going to have a lot. If you're doing everything that's not, you got to wait. People, that's a long wait. So think about these new properties that are being built with kiosks. Like Caesars used to have a gigantic, huge bank of tellers to check you in. Now it's a huge bank of kiosks to check you in. So what happens then?
I just looked down. The Juice said MGM system is not back up. I got a Vegas trip coming up. I couldn't make any reservations to any of the restaurants at Aria. So that's possible. Greg Macaluso, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Okay. He has under 78.5 wins on the Red Sox. How would I choose what games to bet on them? Wait till they get to 78 wins.
And start taking the over.
And you're going to lose each time. When they get to 78, the next game they win, you lose the future bet. So you know what you do?
Bet the money line.
Bet on the Red Sox on the money line. You might lose 1, 2. Hopefully, they win that next game. It might cost you, bet a half a unit just to cut the loss in half. Bet a whole unit. Depending on the matchup, if you like it, bet the full unit and cross it off. You can get out of the bet. You don't have to lose the full amount on the future bet.
Yeah, they'll have 76 after. If they win the game today, it's bottom 2. They're up 4-0. So they'll have 76 hypothetically if they win today and don't blow it. They're up. So you got 3 more wins. They play up against the White Sox are the problem. They'll probably take 2 of 3 from Chicago at home. Chicago right now is down 10-1 to the Nationals. And then you'll be sitting at 78 with Tampa and Baltimore. They could lose all 6 of those games. That's not impossible, but more than likely they'll take 1 in Baltimore or 2 in Baltimore at the end of the year. So just law of averages. Tampa owns Boston at Fenway, so you could be good there with the 22nd, 26th, and 27th.
3 games with the White Sox coming up, it says?
That's a problem. They got 3. That 3-game set with Chicago's the problem. Chicago's down 10-1 at the moment, so
good work.
That's a problem. So any more of those, throw them in super chats, and we'll get it at the end of the show in bonus time. Yeah. What happened last night? How about this? The NFL continues to dominate. It's up 2%
2%.
Do you think the NFL becomes even more valuable the longer this strike goes for writers, and the fact that we don't have network, we don't have television, we don't have Prime, we don't have anything being produced, that live sports, these numbers just will go up and up and up? The people just think people will watch sports more is the question this fall than other falls, given the fact that there's nothing on.
I don't know if I'm ready to draw that conclusion. I've been saying for literally a decade, because I live with all these kids and people don't watch anything live anymore except sports. I've been saying it for literally over 10 years when I started to see the way the kids consumed everything.
Right.
And then we would all be running somewhere between practice or this or that, but we would record something and all watch it together whenever our schedule allowed us to watch it together. And I was like, this is what's happening right now. But you don't do that with sports. You can record a game. If you're watching the Braves and Phillies now, you're not going to watch it tonight unless you're a diehard. You got to watch. Sports is still appointment viewing. It is. Will it become more valuable? I don't know if it can become more valuable. It will become more
prevalent.
Right? Like, I think
ABC's putting Monday Night Football on every game the whole year.
They should have never taken it off.
True, but they did it because they wanted to drive up the most valuable thing in cable, which is ESPN. You can get ABC with rabbit ears. You pay $6 a month for ESPN.
They should have never taken it. That was one thing that people counted on and watched.
I know, Dave, made them billions. Why wouldn't they? I would have done the same thing.
They did, but now people aren't keeping the cord. They're cutting the cord. They're doing all this other stuff. They're going to put it back on there. I think you'll see a lot more stuff on the network stuff.
I agree. College football.
Teams like Phoenix is going to rabbit ear television to put their games on. The Suns.
Yeah, that's regional and local. That's not national. But yeah, I get your point.
I understand, but there's a lot of people in Arizona that watch those games, especially when they're good. They got KD and all this other stuff. It's going to be, I think, the value.
Here's what's going to be fun. People who forget what rabbit ears were like, HD TV is either it works or it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
There's no like fuzzy snow. There's none of that for HD. Either you have the connection or you don't have the connection. And all those old people who grew up with rabbit ears in Phoenix who are not going to be able to figure out how to get the HD antenna hooked up to their TVs is going to be phenomenal. I mean, they're literally sending out rabbit ears to fans who are requesting them with a full guide of how to install the HD rabbit ears.
Yeah. Jimmy Jack said ABC had The Bachelor, which was a cash cow. They did. They put on TV shows on network television.
They counter-programmed. They put female-oriented television on ABC with male-oriented TV on ESPN. Made perfect sense.
It did.
It made them so much money, but now they're all struggling because nobody is working. We're 6 months in now. I mean, it is Disney Plus is now $199 because they're worried already. People weren't subscribing to Disney Plus the way they needed it to.
Wait, it's $1.99 a month now?
For new people to sign up, it's for 3 months. You get it for $1.99.
And then what is it?
Then it goes to $6.99, I think it is.
Okay, it goes back. I mean, that's what people like us are paying already.
Yeah, right. But they're worried because they thought they get new subscribers, new shows, new movies. There's nothing coming out. There's nothing being produced. I mean, the only thing right now that is unscripted and new and unknown is sports. Everything else is running its course. We're not seeing movies. Movies aren't being released. You're seeing movies being pushed back because they're not being edited, not being developed.
Does it piss you off when they give the new people like that, like almost the thing for free, and they never even mention it to me? What I've been subscribing since
it's the introduction. I agree. It's the introduction type of thing.
Sorry, Will. That is fucking bullshit.
It's true. I mean, it's the whole cell phone thing, right? You had it with cell phones forever.
That used to drive me crazy.
Yeah, you go in and you have a cell phone, for 10 years, and someone new comes in, and all of a sudden they get a free phone and they get free whatever, and you're like, wait a minute. Oh no, it's for new subscribers only. But I've been a customer forever. That guy's more valuable than me.
Yeah.
How much money have I given you over the
That's
years?
what they're telling you. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what's going on in the sports book stuff too. Like the new customers come and get this thing. Why do you think someone named, Joe Smith signs up and then Jimmy Smith signs up and then Bobby Smith signs up? They get all the new customer fees and all that other stuff. They get the referral bonus now. They're doing all the stuff they did when I was in Curacao. They're doing now in a lot of these states for the new customers. And you're like, they're not new. They're just someone else's. Like it's the same thing. You're just doing the same thing.
Right. Repackaging, same thing.
Phillies just gave up 2 runs. It's tied 4-4 in Atlanta.
Full game, a lot to go over in that game. Just go ahead and bet the over.
Just
4-4,
like-
and the Texas Rangers just scored 4 runs and tied the Red Sox. Wow. 4-4 there. All right. So those 2 games.
Fast.
Yeah, that was fast. Should have bet the over in both those games. I have the over in the Orioles and the Houston game. It's 1-0 Orioles after 1. So I need both offices to get rolling there. Do you think the NFL would ever trade, in the wake of our last conversation, would ever trade 2 games on Monday night for the Thursday night game?
Oh, sign me up.
No, it's you. I'm talking NFL. I'm not talking about you and me or everybody else. The NFL.
What would you vote?
I'd vote for yes tomorrow.
Ask the chat. Chat, what would you vote? 2 Mondays or 1 Thursday? What would you vote? I guarantee every person says, give me 2 Mondays.
No, I wouldn't say everyone, but a large majority will say 2 games.
90%.
Yeah, agreed.
90% of the people say, give me 2 Mondays.
Yeah. Right now, there's no way in hell that would ever happen because they need that Thursday desperately. Right now, they need that Thursday.
The games are crap.
They are crap, but they need just a 3-hour block. The NFL needs it. The NFL needs that standalone game on Thursday right now.
What if we staggered them an extra hour apart? 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, West Coast start. That's 7 and 9.
On Monday?
Monday night.
No.
7 p.m., 9 p.m.
This BS they did this week was stupid. Like, I was just dumb. 1 hour stagger time is stupid. East Coast game, West Coast game every week. Should absolutely be a part of it. You should do it even with Thursday. You should do it anyway. You should do Monday, 2 games on Monday night. You should have standalone games at a 6 o'clock Pacific time start, 8 o'clock, whatever you want to do, but like not an hour. It's going to be more than an hour.
Wow, we got some Thursdays. I'm surprised.
I knew we would.
We got a couple Thursdays.
Because people like the rhythm of it. They like the Thursday rhythm. That's why they put it there.
The game has no rhythm ever.
It doesn't matter. It's football. It doesn't matter how bad it is. It's still football. You remember what Thursdays must-see TV on NBC were like, right?
I'm going way back to Cosby's show in Family Ties.
But remember the 3 shows where you had Seinfeld, Friends, and Frasier. You had that 3.
Lock it up.
Right. Those 3 hours, those 2 hours and 3 shows. 55 million people watch that every week. It's insane. When you look back at the numbers of what Thursday, I do it in my class. This is part of my class what I teach. That like Thursday, the way that the world in America, not the world, but the way America consumed content was Thursday nights. And so
tremendous.
Putting football Thursday night, people of our age are used to that. So you take that away from them, that's a pretty big change. Thursdays have always been a night to sit at home and watch something, either TV or sports.
And then go to work and talk about it on Friday.
And then go out with your girlfriend, wife on Friday, and then Saturday watch football and Sunday watch football. That's the rhythm. If you pull that Thursday out, a lot of people are going to get pissed off. People like it.
Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court.
Bam.
Sonic just put it in there. That was the original must-watch.
Before they tagged it, yeah.
And then
they did big numbers, but Seinfeld and Friends changed the game. I mean, that's
changed everything.
Seinfeld just once you had those 2. I mean, it's funny talking.
Friends was at 8, Seinfeld was at 9. What the hell was in between?
Frasier.
Was it Frasier? No, Frasier wasn't in between. It was after. No, what was on Thursday nights? Hill Street Blues was on.
Not NBC though.
NBC. No, Hill Street Blues was, I think. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. There was something at 10 that was watchable too. It was 8, 9, and 10, and they sandwich shows in between. Man, you're right. Wow, the 55 million people on Thursdays
would watch that. It would just be so that lineup was Let's see. The 90s.
Man, oh man.
That's funny. Must see TV, the comedy era. Okay, so that was pre must see TV. Oh, that's when they started rolling out. NBC had Will and Grace.
ER was in the late slot. ER.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah, ER was in the late slot. Thank you, Sonic. Man, oh man.
They dominated. I mean, they absolutely everybody watched it. It wasn't even a question.
I didn't even know there was TV on the other channels.
Right? Nobody knew. Because if you didn't watch it on Thursday, on Friday when you went to work, people would bring it up and you'd be like, "Oh, you missed it?" And that's what started TiVo. The TiVo advertising campaign was all based on that.
Right.
We can record so you don't ever miss the show that everyone's talking about. And they use Seinfeld and Frasier and Friends and all those shows as the example of what not to miss.
So do you think the thinking, I mean, at least during NBA season and NHL, they're taking sports Thursday, their best game. The TNT is must watch on Thursday night.
So Viacom, I'm not going to be surprised if CBS is not planning on putting NBA games on in primetime. Taking the TNT audience and recasting on CBS right now wouldn't shock me at all if you do that.
Wow.
Think about it. They've got so many channels to fill, but the big boy is CBS. They've got all their national affiliates. They got to give them a fall sweeps program.
They got to give them something.
What do you give them during sweeps? You don't have anything to give them. You got to figure out a way like, okay, give them Chuck, give them Charles Barkley. People might watch that. We might actually have something if we got the game of the week on TNT and on CBS. Like, I think this model of the idea of putting it on from Monday Night Football being put on ABC, I think that's being considered in boardrooms across the entire country right now about what do you do? NHL games on NBC? Not going to be shocked at all if you see a primetime Tuesday, Thursday.
ABC, right? Because ESPN got the contract, so they'll put them on ABC. And then TNT is what? Well, will they put them on with a network?
CBS is it's Viacom. Yeah. So you put them on CBS.
Okay.
I think we're going to see this fall. I think there's a real chance that we see a lot of NBA and NHL games on broadcast TV
during the week
to fill the time.
Wow.
Until they figured it out. Because right now, and this strike is showing no signs of stopping. They don't have any content. They just don't have. And like Drew Barrymore's show, her daytime show is coming back.
Yeah.
Basically walking across the picket line. It's getting absolutely destroyed. Sponsors are getting ripped.
She pulled it back. She said she's not going to do it.
Okay. So again, that she was coming in and I know she's getting hammered. So that's how loud it was.
Right.
She couldn't do it. She tried to come back and she couldn't cross the picket line. So
did you record these shows on VHS tapes? Or was that
no, I never recorded anything. I did record stuff on VHS movies. I never recorded shows. It was always too difficult. But TiVo, we had the first iteration of TiVo.
You did?
Oh yeah. When that first came out, we had TiVo right away. The green guy with the little things on his head.
We got guys in the chat that are talking about recording stuff on VHS tapes and stuff. You had to record Thursday night. If you were going to be out,
my friends would tape the dirty movies on VHS. That's what they would tape the HBO. So they would go like they would contraband the stuff. So like you'd have the HBO show because HBO would show like a dirty movie at 10 p.m. so you could tape it, and we'd go to school, and so then we'd come back and we'd like do exchanges. We'd like go ahead and give each other whoever had what tape and what movie.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Bloodsport. First time I ever saw this thing. I saw boobs the first time and 2 times. Bloodsport and Roadhouse.
Oh, I'll never forget the first time I saw him was Trading Places. Jamie Lee
First
Curtis.
time those two topless. I was like, "What is that? And why is that? I need more of that."
Yeah, we froze. We were like, "Whoa, what did she just do?" Because we didn't see it coming. Oh,
and then strange. Science. What was the 80s science movie? Shoot.
Blinded Me with Science?
No, is it Weird Science? What was the movie where he created the girl? He physically created.
Yeah.
So Weird Science, right?
Weird Science, yeah.
The
song "Blinded Me with Science" was in it.
Okay,
that was a song.
Weird Science was one of them.
Her name?
Risky Business was another.
Risky Business. Well, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
See, I kind of, it's weird. I watched that movie, but like, I was already kind of old. That was like my high school. Like I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I was like watching that. Like there were a couple movies like that came out. I was like, that's like today. like that's because everything we did in my high school was like fake 60s. Like we were the 90s, but like everything was the 60s.
Right.
Tie-dye and bell
Weird
bottoms.
Science, highly underrated movie.
Phenomenal
the boys
movie.
in the chat are flowing with Weird Science.
It's a phenomenal movie. Oh, that was a great flick.
Kelly LeBrock.
Yes.
That's it, Crunchy Beaver.
Yes.
You didn't have to drop a super chat. Kelly LeBrock. Every guy was in love with Kelly LeBrock at one point or another. Every guy.
Heck yeah, for sure. Yeah. Tomorrow, Thursday night, speaking of which, the line's 10. 10. Total's 44.5. What?
Officially out. Somebody just dropped it in the chat.
Barkley's out. Yeah, he's
out.
Yeah, he's not playing.
We didn't know that.
Right. Yeah, we knew this. He was out.
Here we go.
Barkley's not playing. But I mean, double-digit favorite on Thursday at home.
They're going to win the game.
But are they going to cover?
I don't know.
Nor
I mean,
do
would you feel confident in this? I don't even want to watch this for 2 seconds. Honestly, I don't. What am I going to learn from this game? The Giants have been stuck on the West Coast. Their best player offensively, all due respect to Danny Dimes.
Come on.
Saquon is the man.
Yes.
He ain't playing. This is like, just don't get no one else hurt. Like, they're going to try. Don't get me wrong. It would be great if they could win. They ain't winning this game. So now I got to worry about whether they're going to cover or not and all that other stuff. Totals 44.5. I don't even feel good about that.
I don't, because it could be a blowout.
Right.
I mean, it could be
31-17. Never in doubt. The game goes over.
38-14. Yeah, it could. I want no part of it. I mean, this is a very hard game to bet. This is, I don't know. I mean, I'm inclined to same game tease it. San Fran minus
San Fran down and go over.
Yeah, over 38.5.
You know, if you do that stuff, like I can't,
I've hit 3 in a row.
I know you're hot. This is what I'm
saying.
Like, it doesn't matter what I say for like the people that are watching the show and like the show. And like, when I say book it, don't say, oh, well, Dave's booking it. That means he don't like it. I got to turn to my bookie card if I don't book the same game teaser. So most of the time,
but they can win.
And that one, I mean, that's the way to do this game.
It's the only way to do this game.
There's
no other way to do this game unless you want to give you could give the Giants 16 points if you want, but no thanks.
I don't want that side. I don't. What's to like about the Giants against the San Francisco defense without Saquon?
At home, I would go, oh, maybe, but I mean, they're not happy with the way things went against the Rams. So
we got to say hello to our friend D Stout 19.
Okay.
He says, finally, I'm here. I hate being late. D Stout is the guy that's macking daddy and driving around on the tractor with us on the screen and us in his ears. D Stout, welcome to the show and welcome to the chat, sir. Thank you. We need some more performers like him on the show.
Agreed. Now, previously in the NFL, when there was a 16-game schedule, everybody said, if you go 0-2, you're dead. Now at 17 games, people are saying, well, hold on. Maybe. Is that number now 0-3? Chargers, Vikings, both 0-2. Is the loser dead?
Yeah.
So then if that's the case,
how are the Vikings going to fix 0-3?
You can't.
Their schedule on that side. And then the Chargers, if one of them isn't, it's the Chargers. It's the Chargers.
0-3, they can overcome 0-3?
Yeah, because there's a stretch in their schedule. Don't you remember, I think, where they can win 3 in a row?
Yep.
The 3-game winning streak cancels out the 3-game losing streak. I don't see the Vikings at any point in their season winning 3 games in a row.
So if that's the case, and I agree with you, would you entertain trading Kirk Cousins, and would you talk to the Jets?
Oh, here we go.
About trading Kirk Cousins to the Jets?
Do the Jets want Kirk Cousins?
Do they want him over Zach Wilson? The answer is yes. Now,
Maybe.
it's a rental. You know it's a rental, and Kirk's going to go on the market. He's not signing with the Jets. We know that, but
what can we get?
Not much.
What if Minnesota wins this game and comes back 1-2? They're fine, right? No.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I asked you if it's the Vikings and they lose and they go 0-3, and I think the Chargers are going to win the game.
Minnesota plays Carolina next week.
Okay.
Favored on the road. Agree with that?
Yeah, given the way that the offense looked. Yeah, that's fair.
Do you think they're making do you think somebody up there is reaching out?
I
saying,
think
hey, if we lose, man, we'll talk next week.
If they wanted to keep Kirk Cousins, they would have signed him and extended him. They did not. He's on the last year of his deal. The Vikings know that there are 2 and/or 3 first-round quarterbacks available in this draft that can reset and give Justin Jefferson a young quarterback to develop with as they go. Caleb Williams, Drake May, we'll see who comes out. But Sam Hartman, there's quarterbacks coming in the draft. There will be 4 or 5 first-round quarterbacks next year in the draft. So you could reset it, and you could go with a cheaper model. You get a quarterback who's good, cheaper model, or you can tank for Caleb. You're 0-3, get rid of everybody. You could even trade Justin Jefferson if you wanted to, but I don't think they would do that. But Kirk Cousins is 100% on the block if they go 0-3.
Caleb ain't gonna like Minnesota.
No, but Drake May might, or maybe somebody else. Sam Hartman might. It's a dome, so it's not like you're playing outside.
Right.
And you got arguably the best wide receiver in the game. I would do it. If I was the Vikings, if I lose this,
I don't think I would. I don't know.
If I lose this game and I'm 0-3, I tank.
Punt?
I punt the whole damn year. And I think you know what? I think Viking fans would be okay with it. We're gonna go get a top 5 pick. We're gonna go get a new quarterback, franchise quarterback, to see what we're gonna do, how we're gonna build the team. Tell Justin Jefferson, look, it's just gonna be a rough season, but we got you. We're gonna get you who you need for the next decade. Not short term, long term. Yeah, they have a young head coach, have one of the youngest head coaches in the NFL.
Right.
Perfect to develop a young rookie quarterback. They clearly
it's not a bad pitch, but I don't know. I mean, the Viking fans they're a special breed. They really, I mean,
they don't like Kirk Cousins.
They used to love him.
You know, like no, it was like one of those things that they tolerated him.
They what?
They tolerated him.
They loved him when he first came. He was wearing the gold chains and all that other stuff.
That was last year. They went 13-3, but they knew when
they loved him.
Yeah, till the playoffs, and they all went, "Oh, right, that's Kirk Cousins." I love Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins just is like the dad. He's just this like.
You love Kirk Cousins.
He's just like the squarest, kindest, nicest dork in the NFL.
What?
He is. He's the biggest, like, he's the guy that you see wearing white New Balance shoes. Like, he's just the most typical dad.
There's a lot of those guys walking around at sports books.
I know. They all should love Kirk Cousins. He's one of them. You know? he's like the anti-version of Wolf of Wall Street when they're chanting one of us. Instead of blowing lines, they're like looking forward to mulching their lawn.
Speaking of one of us, you saw your man Mad Dog today, right?
Love him.
What a clown.
He's not a clown.
He's a clown.
I love him. I absolutely love him. I'll defend Mad Dog for life. He's why I'm in the business.
Explains a lot.
I love.
I don't get it.
Chris Russo. I always love Chris Russo. I would take a bullet for Chris Russo. I've told Chris Russo this himself. I've said, you are responsible for creating this career. 100%. Mike and the Mad Dog, unreal.
I saw him in Phoenix. I said hello. He big timed me.
Of course he big timed you. He's 65 years old. He's been big timing people
Probably
since he was 30.
Probably
That
didn't hear
too. Yeah, he's probably high too. Probably just probably ate half the edible.
I said, "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" And he just went like this. Like he's like, "Well, did I hear something? I don't know who that
I
was."
just can't believe he actually on live TV talked about eating half a gummy, drinking a beer at 12 o'clock, calling his bookie and putting 10 dimes down on a game
It
illegally.
was so bizarre.
He was like everyone on the on
He
set was
gave
like,
out. He goes, "I would call Rocky 718-456," and then he stopped. He almost gave the full number to his guy.
I got a bookie I'm going to go bet 10 dimes with. And he said the right terminology. He was like, I'm going to go drop 10 dimes on whatever he was going to bet on, Colorado.
Right. Colorado. Yeah, he's taking
Unbelievable.
Colorado.
It was
Plus
so good.
21.
It was so good. By the way, this just came across, so it kind of harkens back to what we were talking about, but live TVs.
What?
These sportsbook applications are going to start streaming games too.
Oh, I know. I already told. I saw that software a year ago.
Yeah, BetMGM is now.
Can't I watch it on my damn TV? Like I'm going to be so far behind now on the stream on your app.
They just announced it. The BetMGM is they're gonna now start showing MLS games.
Yeah, perfect.
Including Inter Miami and Messi.
Yep.
Starting tonight.
That's
so,
awesome.
If you have the BetMGM app, so
I mean, if you use it to watch the games, it keep you locked in.
Well, that's Amazon. The same problem.
Yeah, but at the same time, are you in a hurry right now with what's going on with MGM to download their app and give them all your information and stay locked in on an application?
It's a fair point. Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry to do that. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It sucks what's happening to them. This is just a tip of the cap. Because it has to be acknowledged. So it came out yesterday that the blocked field goal and Pat McAfee pointed it out. Could give credit to Pat that Jake Bailey, the holder for the field goal that was blocked by the Patriots.
Yeah.
When he exhales, the ball gets snapped. Belichick knew that and kept that to himself and didn't tell anybody till the week of the game. He knew that when he watched Jake Bailey throughout his entire, he never corrected Jake Bailey for doing it. He never told him he had a sign just in case he went to somewhere inside the division and the Patriots would play them. He knew the tell of Jake Bailey and didn't tell Jake Bailey he was doing it. He tipped his pitches. Belichick knew. He didn't tell him that he did it until the Patriots played the Dolphins with Bailey holding and then told the kid, here's what to watch for when you're running up the line. When you see him exhale, go. That's a Machiavellian shit right there.
That is 1-6 son of a. I mean, that is good.
He waited how many years just in case? How many other guys does he have a book on of his own team that he's just holding on going, yep, that's a tell, that's a tell, that's a tell, that's a tell. I know everything that's coming, and when I ever play against you, I'm going to use that against you. He doesn't correct his own players' tells. You would think it, right? You'd go to your own guy, be like, hey, by the way, like if a pitcher was tipping pitches, you'd go to your pitcher and say, hey, you're tipping pitches. This is a manager saying, I'm not going to tell you you're tipping pitches because if you go to the other team, we're going to use that against you.
Right.
We're going to hit.
That's professional sports. So, like, if I'm coaching the kids, like I tell them,
of course.
Although, as a dad, if the kids are tipping something, I don't tell them. I'll wait. Okay. I'd be like, Bill. I'll put that right here. I ain't even telling the wife. I'm going to get them all. I love that. I love that. I don't like it. I loved it. And the way he did it, run up the line in time.
They're going to outlaw that. You know that, right? There's no way they're going to let that stand. The
Why?
they're going to outlaw that. Watch. The NFL is going to
have to put a guy on the end to block that mofo.
And that's why they're going to say it's dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yep. I guarantee it.
Made it exciting as hell.
Belichick you can't change the rules. When Belichick finds the rules, when he finds that gray area in the rules, the NFL gets so pissed off.
Oh,
he knows the rule book better than they do.
Damn right. I like that. You're frozen. Snap your fingers. Look at that face. Looks like he just passed gas. Look at that face.
Thank you.
Snap your fingers.
Doesn't matter. There we go. Now I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Snap my fingers doesn't do anything.
No, I snap my fingers up when you come back.
Yeah.
That's how I know you're back, when I see the snap and hear it at the same time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's fantastic. That is,
So-
I did not know that.
Tip of the cap to
he knew
Belichick
that
for being-
and didn't tell him.
Didn't tell him. He knew about it, but didn't tell
He
him.
had him on a team.
Didn't tell him for years, for 5 years, and didn't tell him that was his tell, just in case if he went somewhere else. Coach Prime's sunglasses line, it does not go on sale till October 12th, but over 70,000 pairs of those glasses have been sold so far.
I saw one of the moms of a boy in Kendall's class yesterday after
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And her boys play football.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm so into what's going on with Dion that I tried to order his glasses and I couldn't order them pre-order.
Only.
I said, "What? How many are you going to buy?" I said, "Add an order for me. Just bring them into school. I'll get them." Because I didn't even think to order them like they would be sold out. They had an original plan for like not even half of that number. They said, "Well, maybe we'll sell 25 or 30,000 pairs or something." Total 70,000 pairs.
And counting.
Man, oh man. I
Good
don't
for
know.
Deion. Everything is coming up green for Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Except, well, the green this week might be a problem. Oregon's 3-0 ATS. The spread's going down. Some of our friends down south have already moved off 21.
Let me
20
see.
and a half.
Really?
Colorado money coming in?
No. It's Wednesday. They're just messing around with people.
Okay.
I don't think. We have some friends that tweet out those bet percentages things like for the colleges today. And JD Junkyard
Yeah.
answered it with a tweet that said, "I bet 10% or less of the bets that come in on a game, especially college football, are in as of right now." I think that's an accurate number.
That's a
So
good number.
be cautious
way-
about those bet percentages.
Yeah, they're nonsense. 7-4 Texas, by the way. They scored 7 unanswered in the Red Sox.
Ooh.
Texas.
So
they
where's the Colorado game on the sheet? Let me see. It is 371, 372. I got to remember that. I see all 21s.
even down south?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Maybe move back up. It was 20 and a
Yeah.
half before the show.
really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Somebody was testing the waters.
Somebody's putting it out there saying, let's see who's going to follow here. I don't know. Do you feel any different? This is you
Not yet. I mean, I'm still looking at team total. I still want to see what the team total is in Vegas. I know we talked about yesterday.
It's okay
40
to
and a
not
half.
bet the game. Like people
40
are
and a half.
so like they have to have a bet on this game. You don't have to have a bet on this game.
No, I don't, but I like to. I mean, it'll be
Well,
fun.
you do, but I'm talking to people in general.
Oh, right.
Like the number can be perfect. We talked about it last week. The number was too much delay on Colorado. It didn't mean you had to bet Colorado State. It was just
No, I did.
take a
I
pass.
did willingly.
Or bet the game over, and somehow it got over. By the way, we had Dave's Daily Picks come in to Super Chat yesterday and ask about the furries. I was texting with him on Saturday night. He wanted to shout us out both a thank you for teaching
Okay.
him how to play the games in game.
Oh, right.
Because
Mhm. Not
he
you.
had 70 and a half
right.
under.
Uh-huh.
And he sent me a text, are you watching the game? I said, of course. And he's like, I think I'm going to play over 55 and a half because I'll have a huge middle.
Mhm.
And in case
risk.
they tie it here,
Right.
because he already had the under 70 and a half if Colorado doesn't drive down and tie it. So he bet over 55 and a half. And wouldn't you know, that was the only side of the bet that he won because they went into overtime and scored and scored. And you had under 70 and a half, which was a dead nuts winner under,
Except OT.
and he
Goodbye.
fixed it that way. So something I just remembered it right now. He wanted to shout us both out. Appreciate you
Good.
letting us know that.
LSU safety, Greg Brooks.
Oh, this story got me here. Woo.
Brain tumor diagnosed last week, was dealing with dizziness and vertigo. MRI found a large tumor in his brain. They went in, they called it a medical emergency. They went in and got it out. They're awaiting biopsy results, but they, I guess, got it. And Brian Kelly, when he was asked yesterday about whether or not he could see this kid play again this season. Brian Kelly said, talking about Greg Brooks, he was pretty clear about playing again this year, but that's Greg Brooks. Would you play again? You asked me yesterday about would I get shot up? Would I get it? Would I take a shot to play football? And I said, these kids are nuts. If you had a brain tumor removed, would you go play football?
No.
Right?
No chance.
This is the difference in the mentality of a young person, the invincibility of a young person. They think
no,
that
I hope he does. Like, I mean,
really?
Well, no, only because
I hope he doesn't.
You have to have the mental, you have to have something here to get you through this. You feel dizzy, you go to the doctor, and he tells you, oh, you got a brain tumor and it has to come out tomorrow or next week. Like that, I lived that. My dad was having headaches, apparently. I was in Phoenix, and they called and said, yeah, my dad was like, we're having surgery. They got to remove a brain tumor in my head. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've talked to you every day for 40 years. Like, what's going on? Doc said it's in there and it's in a bad spot, Dave. I got to go. It was Wednesday night, or it was Tuesday, and he is going for surgery Thursday. Life changed like that. Everything changed. So for this young kid, he's got to have that goal playing. Now, I wouldn't recommend playing. No. If I was his dad or uncle, I'd be like, dude, just get better. Like, worry about walking and talking and, come out of the surgery. And I don't know, man, like the brain tumor thing there's so many things that happened when I was young and in my life with people that I think about all the time, but I don't worry about. You know what I mean? It was always like my grandfather that I never knew, Clado, passed away from a heart attack at 47. I never got to meet him, but I lived with that. Like, geez, I got to get to 47. Then I had a stroke at 50. Now you send me this story. I read this story about the brain tumor and thinking he's going to play. Man, God bless. What Brian Kelly's his coach. He knows he's going to read the quote. Yeah, that's a good target to have. He ain't playing this season, Perrault. No way. No way.
Not. I mean, it's oh boy. Saw that. LSU is minus 17.5 against Arkansas. Not that it matters in the wake of this, but how does this affect the team, do you think? Does it impact the locker room? Is it a rally for the locker room, or is it like, whoa, that's real life?
That's real life, right? Like, these things find a way of galvanizing a team. You realize you're playing for something else other than yourself. Like, it does something in there. I don't know. I would want to be Arkansas coming into that game.
Right.
I would not want to be Arkansas coming into that game. There's going to be all that stuff. What's Arkansas's expectations season-wise? What were their season wins?
Low.
Like 6?
Not good. Yeah, this is not an angry LSU team, but it's at home. It's a night game at LSU.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's a night game in Baton Rouge. It's a 7 p.m. Eastern time kick.
401, 402. Let me see. Oh wow. Yeah. 18 opener. They took any 18s are gone except for Circa and South Point here in town. Everyone else is 17.5 in the world too. Totals 54.5. Looks like a dead under just from looking at the numbers, but we'll get more into that as we go on further in the week. Wow. I don't know. The brain tumor thing, again, there's so many things between the brain tumor, the stroke, all this other side. I had to go to the doctor, give him my family medical history. It was like, check every box, doc. Somebody in my family had something. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So that one hits home a little bit for me.
Of course. So Iowa lost their starting tight end for the Penn State game. Number is 15 still. PSU is 3-0 ATS. Do they go to 4-0?
Everybody keeps saying that, making me so nervous. How many points is Iowa going to score, Perrault? God bless you.
Thank you.
13.
Sounds right, but I don't know now. McNamara's banged up. They can't really run the football that well. Tight end's the thing it's tight end U. Not good. This is shaping up to be a bad game for Iowa in my mind.
White out. Jack. our producer, Friday night. He's doing our show, and then he's getting in a car and driving right up there for the game.
Awesome. Good for him. Enjoy that.
Yeah, he's going to send us pictures. I said, you must send us pictures. If you've never been to a whiteout game at Penn State, it is a tremendous experience. I did it when it was just in its infancy. We didn't really know
I think I was in trouble. I think this is not a good game for
I hope
Iowa.
you're right.
I'm 3-0 betting Penn State this year, so
I know.
I've laid the points every game.
Things are
so
rolling. Don't change it up.
I'm gonna bet it again.
We are.
Michigan State is dealing with a whole lot of nonsense. We don't need to go into the whole Mel Tucker thing, but it's a massive distraction. Okay.
Woo.
They're fighting the public back and forth. You're screw you. No, screw you. You're lying. You're lying. I want my $80 million. We're not paying you my $80 million. Not good. So Michigan State got thumped last week. Maryland's laying 7 on the road. You're comfortable with a home dog here? When I lay the points, NBC's got the game middle of the afternoon, 12:30 Pacific time, 3:30 Eastern.
Nah, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Right? Because it feels like last week was like the what the hell is happening game. And so everything was so, heightened and they got killed. But Maryland's 3-0 and they just beat Virginia 42-14. The number tells me
slow first half, right? That was one that they didn't score right away and then they pulled away.
Oh yeah, that's again Virginia. They were down 14-0. Scored 42 They scored 42 unanswered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Maryland. Okay. That was the game I had Virginia's team total under, and somehow, some way, and I got under 16.5.
Right.
That's my craziest bet so far this season. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, no more points rest of the way. Betting an under, team total under.
PSU 97, football guy 97. Is in the chat. Thank you. He's here. Asked a question about yesterday getting the show live. Hopefully, he's got it live today.
Yeah, he was having problems. I don't know I can't figure it out because he was having YouTube problems, which we can't help you with YouTube.
I don't know, but YouTube's been pretty solid for us.
Yeah,
so just subscribe to the @ Boston versus the book, and you'll get this notification. Hit the notification button. Tells you when it's starting, and you just go to your device and pop it in. Ask the chat 15. Penn State covers, yes, no. You take Penn State or Iowa. And I don't think we need to ask this one. I don't want nothing to do with this. It's Maryland or nothing, though.
I agree. I got to wait. This number feels like the books are anticipating a bounce back spot for Michigan State, but I don't know.
This is you sit there at 7 and go, come on, please, somebody take it. Give us the roadmap here.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody taking it. You end up sitting there with 7, and then they come in Saturday morning and lay you. You go to 8.5, 9. Maryland wins by 14, and you go, what the hell were we doing? We should have moved that number before. Yeah, it's not good. It's a bad situation.
Oklahoma also 3-0 ATS. They've won they've covered the lines by an average of 19.5 points. They're not just covering, they're covering.
Right.
They're laying 14.5 at Cincinnati. At what point do the books just like, we're going to overinflate this just to try to get a number for people betting the dog?
Oh, yeah. It's a weird matchup. Why are they playing now?
Big 12. It's a conference game.
Cincinnati is a Big 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is a Big 12 game.
Can Cincinnati score enough to keep up? No, right?
No. How good is OU really? I don't know. They looked really good. Is
the Texas game next week? Did they play the Red River Shootout next week?
Oh, no. Let me see. Red River's got to be it's in October. Let's see. Oklahoma's schedule. They play Iowa State at home and then the Red River.
How bad are they going to beat Iowa State? What in the hell are we going to make that line? Holy
Good question.
crap.
We'll find out if they cover 14.5. Bless you.
Oh,
It's one of those days in Vegas, folks. It's Allergy Central Day. If they cover versus Cincinnati, the Iowa State number becomes something really crazy.
20,
21. Yeah, somewhere in that range.
24.
24.
Minimum.
Wow.
I put it at 28. Let them come in and take it. Come on in, y'all. Well, ask Tyler. Tyler's watching the show. Hello, Tyler Wyatt. What do you got next week against Iowa State? I bet he says 27.5.
Yeah. Sounds right. Vandy is 0-4 against the spread, including a loss straight up to UNLV. And they're at home against Kentucky, 13.5-point dogs. In the SEC, home dog 13.5. Can you get behind Vandy?
Do I have to?
No.
I mean, in the book, you have to. Everybody comes in and bets Kentucky, so you have to.
Not 14, 13.5, which I'm waiting. Do they get above? Looks like 14 is the watermark.
Right. Yeah, that's where you start to fall around the right numbers. Wow, we had a lot more people say I was going to cover than Penn State. How about that? Wow, surprised.
Told you we're big in Iowa. A lot of Hawk fans.
Right. No play for him. Leans Iowa.
It's wishful thinking.
Crunchy said they covered 20.5.
Woo!
This game here, this is over, is it not?
Maybe. Vandy can score. They scored against UNLV. Kentucky can score.
381, 382. This is great. This is a must for me. I go get the sheet, and it has it every game, front and back, so I can find them quickly. 381, 382. Kentucky is 13. 13.5, 13. Vandy may be the early indicator, sir.
The team that beat Vandy last week, UNLV, they're 3-0 ATS. They're favored at UTEP. Rebels are road favorites.
UTEP
what is that?
Bad.
Wait, what is that?
UTEP must be bad. No?
Bad. Yes, bad. They got to be. For UNLV. But UNLV is almost over their team win total for the season. I think it was 2.5 or 3.5.
Wow.
See what Coach Odom's got cooking for UNLV.
Right.
I wouldn't touch this game. One more before we get to baseball. Michigan hasn't covered yet this year. They're 0-3.
Right.
ATS. Rutgers on the road at the Big House, plus 24. Can't Greg Schiano's team keep it close? Or is the return of Harbaugh enough to give the Michigan Wolverines the oomph to cover?
Oh. You want Rutgers in the Big House?
If I'm going to bet the game, I'd take the dog. Yeah, I wouldn't lay it.
Right.
I wouldn't lay it with Michigan.
Right. Oh, Tyler's texting me his numbers right now. Let's see. He is Kentucky minus 11.9. Tyler, why are you sending me the Texas number? I need the Oklahoma number against Iowa State next week. Next week. That's what I need. This week, right now. I mean, it's only Wednesday. I don't want nothing to do with this game at all. I'm Michigan's going to blow someone out at some point. No,
I think they're waiting. I think they're just waiting for the tougher games in the Big Ten. The Penn State game,
Ohio
State game.
Harbaugh on the sideline this week? He's done his 3 games, right?
Yeah, this is the return.
Ooh. Does that factor in your decision at all?
I don't know, because it shouldn't. Like, maybe they didn't have the foot on the gas because the coach wasn't there, but that's a little bit of a weird thing. They've won the game. They're 3-0. So I don't know. I'm inclined to take the dog to say 24 points in a Big Ten game they can play defense. Rutgers can play defense. I think it's too many points.
Oh. Tyler had Texas on the brain. That was the OU line, 24.5.
Okay.
So
that
was the number.
I thought this was
remind me on Friday. We'll talk more about that game.
Okay. I thought this was dead. This is not dead. Ohtani watch is not dead. So if you're going to sign Shohei Ohtani, he took off, said sayonara goodbye to LA.
Was that real or was that old footage?
No, it's real.
Are you sure?
It's old footage, but it's real that he went back to Japan.
Oh, that's fact.
Yeah. What I tweeted that video of him running out and everybody there at the airport, that wasn't real.
That's old.
That wasn't real. But he's not with the team anymore. He's gone. Would you give Shohei Ohtani $500 million. He is not going to pitch next year. Okay. He had a procedure done on his elbow on Tuesday.
The UCL thing right there, right?
Yep. He had a UCL injury.
Yep.
It happened in LA where it was done by the Dodgers team physician who did it. Reinforced the healthy ligament in place, suggesting the UCL wasn't reconstructed by Tommy John. He already had it done back in 18. His agent did not go into the specifics of the type of surgery he had, but it was enough they think he'll pitch again. It was the agent saying he will pitch again. But he will hit next year. So if you sign him as a free agent, you get him as a hitter next year only, and you will get him as a pitcher in a year or two.
Maybe.
How do you pay him? And what do you pay him?
Oh, that's brutal. I don't know. Do you front load it?
Yeah.
Like
you incentivize it. I think you incentivize it. I think you give him pitching incentives.
Do you? I don't know if I want him pitching.
No, I'm just saying if you pitch, if you can pitch, here are the incentives that will kick in if you pitch and you do well.
I like the idea of him being a closer.
Yeah, I do too. I would make him. I think that's 100% what he should be. A DH and a closer.
Now we got something here. We can protect him. We don't have to use him all the time. Pitch it. We can bat him all the time. Keep him healthy. Oh man, I don't know. I like that. We did that with one of the kids on the team. We told her, like, look, we know you can start, but we'll pull you in from center field or right field or whatever. Something, come in, warm you up, pitch the last inning. You know, I don't know. I think that's more of a possibility. Would I pay him to only hit next year?
And then what would you pay him?
What's the top hitter make? $35 billion a year?
Pretty much.
I mean, you got to get him the top, I think.
Yeah. $100 million, 3 years.
Not a bad deal. He's going to do a deal where he's going to have to get another deal?
I think so, yeah. I do. He's 29. I think if he wants...
Wow, I don't think so. I think the minimum that his agent's going to tell him to settle for is 6 or 7.
So then who is paying him and how much? Because they're not paying him $40 million for 7 years. It's just not happening.
Oh, so it's either short-term 3 or long-term 10?
I don't know. I mean, the average annual value probably will come out to 20, would be my guess, if you do a long-term deal.
No way. It's higher than that.
It's not a lot of money. Oh, you think 30 million?
Minimum. Bryce Harper got what, 380 for 10 years?
Right. So are you going to pay him just as a hitter? That's fine. You put him in the Bryce Harper category. Okay. He's just going to hit, not going to pitch. Pitching days might be done. If you pay him that type of money, he's not pitching again. You give him Bryce Harper DH type money, he's going to hit 40 home runs, drive in 100 RBIs. He's a hitter. That's what he is. He's no longer a pitcher.
Sports Avenger said he needs a full version of that Ohtani track. He would listen to that on the way to work. That's a banger. Ross Randall said that's a good question that Dave's Daily Picks asked. What if Shohei says screw it and goes back to Japanese baseball?
He could, but not going to get paid the money, though. Yeah, I mean, no.
Is that even a possibility?
No, that's ridiculous. No. I mean, I get the point to bring up, but that's not real. So we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. D-backs are 5-1 at home this year against the Giants. Giants 3 games out. Must win today for San Francisco.
It's getting close to starting to say that, right?
Running out of games.
That was yeah. They are. I mean, we started to say that last week even, but it's getting real now. I don't think it's. I mean, must win because they believe in. Oh, that starts in 2 minutes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a day game.
Yep. All these day games.
Wow. Pick 'em. Webb, Kelly, pick 'em.
D-backs.
Oh, it's floating up towards Giants favored with Webb.
Go ahead. You can have it. They've won 1 game in Arizona all year.
Under?
No.
Like over?
thought about it, but no, I can't do it. No, I thought about betting both, and I said no.
Wow. Phillies ended up winning 6-5. That just went final.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped scoring.
10-4 after 4, Texas.
Damn. That didn't take long.
No.
Big business is going to have playoff baseball.
Maybe. It's possible.
I think they're going to make it.
All right. They're in live. Keller Steele. Cubs.
Did you have to bring this up?
Got worked. That should be worked, not walked. They got worked. They got worked.
I thought you liked walked. I saw it in the rundown. I'm like, damn, he's right. They got walked.
Yeah, that too.
Walked over, walked on. Donkey kicked in the nuts, 14-1.
They killed him yesterday.
I get the text from Iggy. You see the Pirates Cubs score? Didn't even answer him back. 10-1.
It's unbelievable.
They're
What's
2 games under 500.
So what's the play?
The rest of the league.
It's tonight. What's the play?
9 games under 500 against one team. They're 2 games under 500 on the season against the rest of the league.
It's unbelievable.
Can't figure this team out.
Just Cubs money line. Lay the juice.
It was interesting because the total was 7.5. Keller pitched so good last time out. Steele did not pitch that good in Arizona last time out.
Yeah, true.
The Pirates strike out way too much.
Mm.
One of the top 5 teams in strikeouts. If Keller's on, he's going to strike them out. You could probably go over both of their props, strikeout props. Yeah, I mean, I can't come on and say this is the game the Pirates are going to win. Can't do it.
No.
Can't.
Good game, though. I mean, it's Steele needs an 8-inning, 1-hit performance.
Snell won it last night.
Right. I think so, too.
Pitched a no-hitter. Then they take him out.
Yeah.
He did 6 outs. He threw 104. And they took him out. Like, I admire the ability to stick to what you do and what you know and not let even a positive thing, like a possible no-hitter at home, to basically coronate him as the Cy Young Award winner. Take him out. They were talking about it last night, Plesac and Amstinger and on MLB Network. How do you feel about partial season or partial no-hitters?
No such thing.
Like, multiple guys.
Is it
Multiple guys pitched no-hitters.
Was that last night? Did they throw it?
No, he gave up a hit in the 9th.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It's not really a no-hitter. I think it's an impressive feat. It's a dominant performance by the pitching staff, but it's not the same thing as one guy doing it.
Correct.
It's
not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. I would agree.
It's definitely not the same.
Finally, before we let go of SiriusXM and Sports Grid, Marlins nearly blew the game and nearly blew my under bet last night. It was dead under, and all of a sudden they tied the game at 3, and luckily the Marlins won the game in the 9th, 4-3 final. I bet under 8, so I survived that heart attack. Marlins need it again, though.
Yeah.
Like Miami.
Senga, though.
Senga's been great.
Senga for the Mets. As a dog, plus money.
Under
Senga.
Again. Under again. 3rd game in a row. Under.
3rd game
7.
under.
It's 7.
Oh, wait. You can find 7.5s if you shop.
Oh, I got 7 even money last night.
Yeah, 7.5 under 15. 7.5 under a quarter at Circa. Holy cow. Under. I like Mets.
Whoa.
I like Mets.
Okay.
The Reds lost. The
Did they
Reds
really?
lost 5-3 today.
That's a bad loss. Twins
Reds
came back.
Going to be
Everyone's
the Reds will
failing
be the Orioles last year, right? Play great,
and fall apart.
hang to the end, and then just not finish.
Just fall.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Man, my over for the Orioles and the Astros in trouble. I bet over 9.
Stop.
One run. Yeah, nothing there. 12-3 Washington over Chicago, 10-4 Texas over the Red Sox, 6-5 final. Phillies do beat the Braves there in 10. How about that? And starting here in a second, we just started San Francisco and Arizona.
Yep.
For that. If you guys are on SiriusXM or on Sports Grid Replay, appreciate you guys being here. go find the show if you want the bonus time, the extra stuff on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. For those guys of you who are watching live on either Twitter or on YouTube, do not move. It is time for bonus time. All right, you were quoted in this story that appeared in the Washington Post, or at least you talked about for background, right?
Yeah, I talked to Danny when he was here about it.
About this. This is a story that's been pretty wild. So I'll try to explain it as best as I can here. A gambler walked into a poke restaurant in DC, which was in the confines in the geo-targeted location of the DC Gambit property, which is the Gambit runs the sports book using Intralot for the DC lottery. They implemented kiosk wagering over the summer, citing responsible gaming. They wanted to have limits for what you could bet on a kiosk. The emergency rules were implemented in late June, and it will last until late October. Bettors can't bet more than $1,000 at kiosks, and rules allow for players to be limited based upon the amount of time they spent wagering, the amount of money they wagered, and the volume of wagers placed over a short period of time.
Yeah.
However, one gambler took advantage of poorly priced odds at kiosks to a pretty good tune of nearly $200,000 in commissions were taken down by the poke restaurant over roughly a 2-year period from kiosks because they get a 5% cut on wagers. I mean, what's going on in DC? Like, what is this? How much people are just completely stuffing the kiosks and taking, is anybody paying attention?
No.
Okay.
They weren't paying attention when they put the kiosks in. Somebody said, yes, this company will do it. Yes. One company, yes. No competition, sure. Get them in here. They're putting these prices up that are an understatement. We're on bonus time, right? They're fucking ridiculous. You can't even exist in these prices.
Minus 120 and minus 150 on the same bet.
Welcome to, I mean, this can't even be real. I get pictures and stuff. People send me this stuff. I said, you're making it up. You're screenshotting it. No, they're not. This is what's on here on the kiosk.
Both sides. The dog is minus 120 and the favorite's minus 150.
Right. What the hell kind of, I mean, you lose no matter what you bet, unless you can pick them apart with the reasonable price things that are just priced wrong, which apparently this person did and continued to do.
For 2 years.
Probably had a lot of really good bets at an amount that was just under the radar.
Nearly $200,000 in commission over roughly a 2-year period, strictly from the poke restaurant's kiosks. Like, there was some business being done.
I was going to say, yeah, so the business being done, and you made sure you did it at that kiosk because the person that signed off to have that kiosk in the restaurant,
someone got taken care of.
And then we can just literally, win. It's possible to do because, especially if you're getting prices that don't exist anywhere else in the world, you can offset them with other side bets somewhere else, and you do all the winners there. You're taking the money out, and you get a 5% rebate because, you know, the person that signed off from putting the kiosk there gets 5% of the action. It ain't a bad deal for everybody. The irony of it is, why did nobody know that this might happen?
Gambit has faced intense criticism from customers and the DC Council for its repeated shortcomings, including an app malfunction on Super Bowl Sunday last year. For example, FanDuel and
Nope. Hold on. Stop talking because you're frozen. Don't say another word. Uh-oh. He out. Oh, he's back. Come back, Jack.
I'm back now.
All right, you're back. Perfect.
Okay. For example,
yes,
FanDuel and Caesar Sportsbook listed University of Virginia football team as a 9.5-point underdog to North Carolina State on Friday night. Gambit offered the same 9.5-point spread, but the odds for the bet were minus 125 on each side.
A point spread wager. Minus 9.5 points. You got to lay the points. Standard juice is minus 110 both sides.
Yep, which
They've
is what
slowly
FanDuel and Caesars
creeped
had.
them up to minus 115 at the max. What did this Gambit do?
Minus 125 on both sides.
What do you even say to that? What do you even say to that?
Well, former council member in D.C., Alyssa Silverman, posted a bill in late 2022 to allow national operators to enter the market, but it never gained traction. She told SportsChannel.com yesterday, quote, Gambit is a disaster. I am not a fan of sports gambling, but if we are going to do it, it should generate revenue for important things like schools, public safety, and housing. The council needs to scrap Gambit and move to a market-based system.
Really? That's what I told someone about DC, specifically about 4.5 years ago.
Saying
when they called.
What?
Talked to a couple companies that were going to be in DC or were going to hope to be the one to be in DC. And then I looked at the software some places, went to G2E, met some people who told me that their software was going to be great in DC. And I was like, you're all full of shit. All of you. What do you mean? This sucks. Look at your prices. This sucks. What are you guys doing? They're like, what do you mean? What are we doing? Well, what are you doing? Just tell me what you're doing. Because you ain't booking the games.
Right.
Taking the money out the back door. Somebody's getting paid. Somebody's getting envelopes. Just tell me what you're doing. Like, so I know there ain't no way I can help you with this. I can't help you because you ain't booking the games. I just want to book the games. That's enough. We'll make enough money and everybody will be happy. The customers will get their bets. The books will book the bets. Well, you could do advertising. We'll tell everybody what we're doing. It's right there. That's enough. It's not enough when you're not really booking the bets. Good luck, Gambit. Good luck.
Good point. Good luck. Better to book it here quickly. Marlins under 8 with the Mets.
It's worked out yesterday. Bang both totals, right?
Both games have gone under. Yep. 2-1, 4-3.
Yesterday you had two best baseball bets. You won them both.
Correct.
We bet them both too. That was a good day.
Yes.
We were on the same page and everything was good. You really, I'm not a horse guy. You're definitely not a baseball guy, but all you do is win. You're winning. You're getting hot with the baseball.
All I do is win.
Under Senga Perez bet.
Under 8. Let me see. My baseball total for so far. You ready for this? Get ready for this.
Please do.
I am 117 and 109. I am up 0.01.
What a baseball betting grind. You're up 8 games and you're up a sliver of a percentage of a unit.
0.01. I am up. As I said, going into baseball, if I bet the whole year and I don't lose any money, it's a monumental success.
Right.
This has been an unbelievable year. I will jump up and down. I will celebrate it. I will be ecstatic if I could find my way into it.
Yeah, I like this. I like this play today. Have you guys ever considered tracking the results for Bet It or Book It from RJ Mathis? Personally, RJ, I could give a shit less about
that's why. That's why we don't. That's why we don't track it because he doesn't care at all.
So
no.
I you guys can if you want. Matt's keeping his record. He got somebody keeping it for Daily Juice, and most of these plays come from the Juice. So we go back and forth with that.
Correct.
It doesn't matter to me. So if you, that's the answer to your question. It's not being disrespectful. Everybody keeps track of records, and then they fake keep track of the records and public.
Amen to that.
I mean, we show up and do the show every day, and both just come here and tell the truth. I live that way every day. So
amen to that.
Good luck. I like under
Arizona money line.
Going to go 6-1 now. In game,
just started. The
game 1-0 San Francisco
already.
Yeah, 1-0 San
I
Francisco.
don't like that. Don't like
Why?
that.
They were down. Arizona was up 2-0 yesterday.
Hmm.
I took San Francisco plus 110 in game. They ended up winning it, blowing them out. Doesn't mean nothing that they scored in the first run. Yes, I like San Francisco. Arizona, I mean.
Yeah, it's a better pitching matchup.
Logan Webb. This might be the game San Francisco wins, but
FanDuel went to 24-1 for the Brewers bet, by the way. It just jumped up.
there you go.
I wonder why. I wonder why that number's gone up.
Ross Randall just said, okay, so are other states also creating bad bet environments for lack of better terminology? Absolutely.
Other states? Yeah, of course. Plus 126 right now, money line if you want to take the D-backs. Let's get
There
plus
you go.
money. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Going to the bottom of the first inning. So Kelly gave up one.
Yeah.
Let's see how many more he winds up giving up on this. So, okay, super chats. Questions to be answered. Big business. Matt, I agree. This year, pitching doesn't matter. Legitimately, why the Rangers are even in the discussion. No healthy pitchers, but still in contention. Are the Rangers a threat if they make it?
Yes. You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like. They're both
On that
so bad.
side?
It's
The
so
way
bad.
that side is?
I
They
think
can go beat Houston in a series. They
No.
got to get by the first one.
no. I don't think they can. No, I would heavily favor Houston on that. Sonic says Warner Brothers Discovery is adding a tier for Turner Sports properties on their Max app,
Oh,
NHL and NBA. So they might be looking to incorporate more on the broadcast side as well as they go.
I love the TNT coverage of both.
How could you
hockey
not?
and
It's
basketball?
phenomenal. Both are they're the
They
best.
do a great job. I'm
No, they're
not
the
so
best.
crazy about the hockey studio.
Oh, I love the hockey studio.
In
I think it's
between.
great. Oh, I think it's great. Biz
Wayne's
and all
got to
them.
go.
Why? I like Wayne. He's
You
just a
like
straight guy.
Wayne? Yeah.
He's just the straight guy. He's the old guy on the bridge. Doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Look, I like Wayne. you need
Fair
that.
enough.
I like that when Wayne's
Well,
there.
Talkett's not going to be in there because he's coaching still.
Right.
Biz is phenomenal.
Biz is great. Dave's Daily Picks. I had a day today. I want to thank you both for your support and love during my journey to recovery. You two are the fucking mint in my book. Dave's Daily Picks. We love you as well, my friend. Thank you. His avatar is the picture he took with me and you at Circa. That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Good.
So
Well, congratulations. He's
So
going
that's
through a lot of shit, and a lot of guys that we know are. They keep
Mm.
showing up, baby. That's what we do too. Just keep showing up, reach out, come in the chat, do all that stuff. It's a good community.
Big Business says SMU +7 at TCU. I have faith.
I hope you got cash too.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that either.
We're gonna have to look at that. For
That's
Friday.
over. That's an over game though. I like that game to be a track meet.
What is TCU won every game since the first one? Since they lost to Colorado? Are they
Yes.
2-1?
But they haven't. Yeah, but they haven't stopped anybody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure all 3 games have gone over. Let me see. TCU.
I just looked out and saw Crunchy Beavers.
Yeah,
He
we'll
just
do
left
that.
us a fit.
We'll do
Dave
that in a
looks like a
second.
Dodger furry today. Something I'll never be able to get out of my mind. Put the hood up for you. Put the hood up for you.
Goodness gracious. There we go. Let's see. I thought TCU would have been an over in every game. I guess not. TCU is 1-2. Wow. I'm shocked.
2 games
Oh,
under? Since?
They lost the first game 41-6 and
Right.
36-13. I thought that game would have gone under. Went under by a lot. That total was 64 last week.
Who'd they play?
Houston. They had a tough time with them. They got away with them later. They pushed out later, but so maybe
They were
not. Maybe
dogs
that.
in game,
All right.
right? No, they were small favorites.
No, they're 40. They've been -21, -42, and -7.
Oh, -7 at Houston, though, right?
That game was yes.
It was at Houston, I think.
Oh, was it? Hold on. I don't know if that was. No, that was it was at Houston. Yeah, it was at Houston. Yeah, that was at Houston.
Yeah.
And then the Southern SMU is 6.5, 7 the line right now for SMU. That game is at home for TCU, so that could be tough there on that. A Dodger furry. I don't know what that is, and I really don't know what that. I don't know. Nothing I want.
I just was. This is a Mitchell and Ness. I love this thing. I keep finding these Mitchell and Nesses that
that got bought by Fanatics.
Mitchell and Ness did.
Yep,
I hope they don't ruin that.
they just bought them. Favorite thing about today is what?
I got so many things in my mind. Damn. Let's go with this.
Okay.
We both got kids. We got both a lot of things going on. And the favorite thing is when we could just sit down and talk and vent and then have a good time here on the show with all this crowd and all these people, and they come in and ask us about the games and all this other stuff. So I'll say that so far today, the day I'm having, my favorite thing about today was about 10:30 saying, "Where you at? Because I beat you in today. Like, we got to talk. You got to talk me off the ledge because I'm ready to choke someone out." So I was like, "Whew, all right, we got to get ready to start the show." And everything. Yeah. You're like, "Why are you wearing all that cold weather gear?" I said, "One, my house is freezing, but it's a metaphor for the whole damn place. The whole joint was like below zero. We'll warm it up later." You know what I'm saying? We'll try.
Gonna try.
I ain't getting no title shots or nothing. Just trying to say hello at this point. That's all I'm trying to do is say hello. Hopefully she watches the show. And the girls in there, if you're watching, a favorite thing about today.
Oh.
Let her know at her lunch.
Oh.
Let her know.
I love they watch that. It's absolutely it's tremendous that they watch that.
Yes.
It's not my favorite thing about today, but I felt like that story we talked about with the kid with the brain tumor for LSU it's such a good reminder of like things come out of nowhere all the time. Like I couldn't imagine being that kid's dad.
Oh,
I got a son at LSU. Like he's playing football at LSU. He's played this sport his whole life. He's at the top. He's in the #1 football conference. Every one of those kids thinks they're going to go play in the NFL, or at least attempt to go play pro football. He's a starting safety for LSU football. And he comes home and says, "Dad, I'm not feeling good. My head's spinning. I feel vertigo. I feel sick. I'm dizzy, blah, blah, blah." And you're like, damn, concussions. Like, man, concussions are tough. Concussions. Let's go get you checked. Doctor's like, "Sir, your son has a brain tumor that's quite large, needs to be operated on now." Like, what did you say? Like I can't imagine what that must be like for that family to kind of go through. So it's just, you have a chance to, if you're healthy, thank the heavens, thank whatever, the universe that you are, because there's a lot of people that get that diagnosis every day where it's snap of a finger and everything changes.
Yeah.
And I try to take into account and appreciate my health, and that my daughter went through what she went through when she was 6 months old, and that she doesn't have any real lasting issues from having a collapsed lung and being on a ventilator for 16 days and being in the ICU for 2 weeks and everything else that went on with that. And what that was like for me as a dad, a new dad 6 months in Houston, Texas, going through that. And then a father dealing with an adult kid, dealing with brain surgery. So
speaking of which, I didn't even send you the picture yet. Pap fell yesterday at work. Sent me a picture. I stopped everything after you and I finished the show.
Right.
And I called my wife first and said, "Is that real? What happened?" Made it through another day, but man, oh man, I didn't go to the ER. I stayed home with the dog, but everybody else went to the ER on top of everything else that was going on. He took a fall yesterday.
Like far, like down,
tripped over something and ended up on a metal electrical box, something like, I don't know. He's a tough SOB, man. Sent me the picture like, "Hey, I fell today." And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" I thought it was fake. I sent him a text immediately. I'm like, "That's not real." He said, "No, that's my arm." And I was like, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
So
hopefully
again,
you'll be okay.
Just appreciate where you're at, who you got in your life, your health, all of it, every single day. We do that on the BVB, along with appreciating the hell out of all of you.
Amen to that. Guys, we're back tomorrow, same time, 10:30, 11-ish Pacific time. on our YouTube channel live, replay on Sports Grid and Sirius XM channel 159. You can see Dave later on on Sports Grid. You'll get us together on Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Sports Grid. Back tomorrow, Dave, Matt, for Thursday's BVB.